On today's episode of Wrong Side, a life update, including a bachelor party in Nashville, some work stories, a birthday, and a Chicago preview for the Wrong Side reunion in over 2 years. College football chaos has kicked off. The SEC and ACC championships have started their chaos, and the chaos will officially commence this weekend with Georgia, Tennessee. NFL has brought us more pain. Clutch moment of the week brought to you by Shore Metals and Outside the Line. In a world full of champions, we find ourselves on the wrong side.
Welcome back, Wrong Siders. Today is November 13th, and we are on the Walter Payton episode of Wrong Side. Find all of our episodes on Apple, Spotify, YouTube at Wrong Side Takes, and it's a big week coming up. First of all, happy birthday, Michael Sharber. His birthday was Monday the 11th. Happy birthday, my mother, whose birthday is today as we are recording November 12th, and happy birthday to Maddie, my girlfriend, whose birthday is the 13th. Very expensive weekend for me, but a lot of great people to celebrate. So, Michael, how was your birthday?
Pretty good. Elite week. Those are three 1920s Yankees right there, in my opinion. With that, that's death row right there. But birthday was good. Had to work, unfortunately. PwC did not have the day off, which was a bummer. I think this is my second time ever working on my birthday or having anything on my birthday because usually school, whatever, I used to have it off. So second time I've ever had to do something on my birthday in my life, but pretty
Brutal.
good birthday. Worked a little busy during the day, so that kind of stunk. Didn't really get to relax or anything else, but the night ended well. I went to hibachi with my parents and my grandparents. Super good meal, a little steak, a little shrimp, volcano,
Yep.
you know the the fire volcano, which was cool.
Do you ever
And
get
then
to
after that,
participate in hibachi where you go? Because I've,
like, when they throw you something.
oh, not even that. You know, when they spin the egg on the spatula and
Oh
they
yeah, yeah, yeah,
bounce it
yeah.
and then crack it. I took charge at one of the hibachi
Oh,
places I was at recently, and I got some soft mitts going right there. We were
oh.
doing tricks with it, but still, hibachi's always good. Love the onion volcano.
Yeah, Onion Volcano's classic. This place does not do it. There are places that do let you get the
Uh-huh.
spatula to work out, do the shrimp toss to you, but
Well, I
this
had to
one
sign
not.
a waiver. I had to sign a waiver for that, but it was still
Oh,
worth it.
oh, okay. Yeah, if they would have asked, I would have signed the waiver,
Yeah.
definitely. But no, not like that. Came back, got a nice gift from my parents, got a nice gift from my grandparents, just some nice clothes, and my mom helped me out. My parents got me money for the Bears game we're going to next weekend, so that was nice. But
Ugh.
other than that, just another birthday, unfortunately. Kobe year, exciting, 24. I told my mom it was my second Kobe year. She didn't understand, but I had to tell her that it was 8 once and I was 24 now. So, but very good birthday. Another good year, health and happiness, happy, nothing wrong. So, hope to keep that going. But Monday morning, although it was my birthday, very tired from the weekend. Long
Yeah.
weekend in Nashville. Had a bachelor party for the GOAT, David Joseph. So, we
Friend
had
of the
that.
program there. Friend of the
Friend of
program,
the
David
program. Yeah,
Joseph.
friend of the
Hmm.
program. Yeah, very good. Friend of the program, David Joseph. It was his bachelor party in Nashville, and what a weekend. Great weekend.
Are we diving into that now, or do you got some
Yeah.
stories lined up for later in the afternoon? So first of all,
Oh,
shock.
I was gonna say one more thing about my birthday
Uh-huh.
from work. That was my work story. I was gonna say. Unfortunately, very mean of my work team. Actually, very nice, but also very mean. They gave me like this "Happy Birthday, Michael" card. Like it was on PowerPoint. They like write some nice messages on slides. The second slide was like super nice. Like, hey, jokes with us, talking like things that like we've all like. It was super nice. We've all signed them for like our each other as the years gone on.
Yeah.
So like it was nice to like obviously get that one, but complete assault by the team on the first slide. There was like two nice pictures of our team, so that was nice. But along with that, it was Des Bryant catch, top left corner. Dak Prescott as a clown, bottom left corner. Middle of the screen under Happy Birthday Michael was the Will Howard slide screenshot.
Oh.
Incredibly mean, incredibly assault. Did not make sense. It was so unfair. All the other people had nice pictures. I was bullied during mine, so that was my work story. Super nice of them. Really appreciate all them. But assault on pictures.
Wrong side, celebrating the birthday in true wrong side fashion. So I guess your true personality really shows at work. So I guess that's a
Yes.
positive spin zone there.
Yeah.
But
Spin zone on
um,
myself.
Spin Zone, you're the biggest loser at work, so everyone knows it. So happy birthday, Michael.
Happy birthday, Michael. Yes, but that was my only work story. But yeah, fun weekend in Nashville. We can dive into that. I know we want to talk about that.
This is the first I'm hearing of this, and from my perspective, little update, little foreshadowing for what's going on coming up in my life. One of my great childhood friends, Jason Sayre, he asked me to be his best man last Friday. So his wedding is set for September. Very excited about it. Gonna have to get into all the planning. From my perspective, Nashville was definitely thrown out there. This is the first I'm hearing of Michael's stories from the weekend with a lot of his pledge brothers and our old college friends. So I'm very interested to hear about it, and also will be taking notes about an itinerary to copy. So take us through it, top to bottom,
Yeah.
how to go with the boys.
So yeah, plan the weekend. Dave's wedding is in June. I know it's a little far away from the weekend, but with all of our schedules that kind of look like the best weekend, a lot of people in med school. There's one person in med school, three people in pharmacy school, another person getting their master's, another person getting their law degree, three people that work in accounting that are going to be in busy season from January to March, another person who's getting school. So and we have a pilot, so it's a wide range of people where it's busy weekend, and this was really the only weekend it would work out, but it ended up being a nice weekend because it was like a 3-day weekend for everybody in school.
Yeah.
And it was my birthday weekend. A bunch of us could take it off. It wasn't bad. Some people had work off, some people didn't, but very nice weekend. Weekend started out pretty nice. That Thursday when you like log off and you're like, all right, let's go, like it's time for the weekend, it's Friday basically, is great. I was texting you on my way to the airport. You hit it on the nose. You're like, when you're driving to vacation or when you're gone on vacation, like they're in that meeting that you're not on.
Uh-huh.
You're right. That feeling is incredible. I'm usually like not good about like not checking my phone, not checking my like laptop on vacation. I brought it even this weekend just in case.
Ugh, you
But
disgust me.
I didn't actually check it at all after Friday morning. Like after I got to the airport, I looked at one more thing, closed it, didn't even look at it again the rest of the weekend.
Good.
So there was that. Very good. Weekend, of course, starts off with my eliteness, walking through, ace my TSA, 5 minutes, went to the bathroom, 30 minutes till boarding. I mean, I'm elite there. We all know the stories of how I roll at the airport. Of course, though, airports are not elite at all.
No.
And Adam Marcus, unfortunately, had to hear an earful from me when I first got to the Airbnb, because for the 50,000th time, my flight didn't take off on time. It was supposed to board at 9:05. We didn't board till 9:40.
Oh.
We didn't get off the ground till about 10:20. So now I'm about an hour behind schedule. I was supposed to land at like 3. Now it's going to be 4:30. I was 30 minutes from the airport. Rush hour on a Friday, a Veterans Day weekend in Nashville.
Damn,
It was
yeah.
going to be a mess. Luckily, it was direct. Landed, got there. Ubers were 12 minutes away for like an absurd amount of money. But I saw some taxis coming in, just jumped in a taxi. He took me down. So I got to the Airbnb, super nice, booked this place, about a 3-story townhome, slept
Sweet.
all of us, very nice. Everyone was definitely getting after it before I got there. So that was fun. The only really negative, in my opinion, of the weekend I had too was leaving Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Leaving was always stunk.
Mhm.
And getting there and only getting there late since my flight was delayed. So I was only there for like 20 minutes before I went and got the food. So I really couldn't like dive in fully to drinking before I got to the road. So that was a negative. Only negative.
Okay.
Picked up all this barbecue, like 12 pounds of meat for all of us, mac and cheese, beans, biscuits, this like local place, Jim and Nick's. It was on Easy Cater. Very good.
Sweet.
Elite. And then the weekend started. We ate, we drank, we hung out at the Airbnb all night Friday, like stayed up late, smoking cigars, hanging out. It was a lot of our first time seeing each other together in a long time. We had seen, obviously I see Moops a lot because he lives here. Brink and those guys I've seen once. I've seen Gant once. I've seen Couvert once. I've seen Dave, but not all of us together.
How many guys were on the trip total?
13. So there was 9 of us who were in, let me do my math right. 9 of us, no. There was 2 guys from pharmacy school that Dave was friends with.
Okay.
His brother, his sister's boyfriend. So yeah, 9 of us that were in beta together.
Cool.
Elite group. Michael Sharber, Moops, Brink, Gant, Couvert, Wober, Dave, A-Mark, and Bert.
That's a star-studded cast.
Star-studded cast. And Berger and Kobe and Jason and Zach. elite guys to join the group.
Sick. And for the listeners who may not know, when Michael said Adam Marcus got an earful from him when he finally got there, Adam Marcus is the pilot friend. So
Yeah.
Michael was taking out all of his all of his years and years of airport frustration and strike lists that he has going,
Oh
taking
yeah,
it out
Adam
on
got to hear it.
our poor pilot friend Adam Marcus. So
This was
shout out
like
Adam
right as I
Marcus.
got there, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, Adam, I got a bone to pick with you. What the hell's going on? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, he's not. He's like, the pilot's tour. And I was like, the pilot was there. The crew was there. Why does we keep taking off late? Poor Adam. He works so hard. Adam Marcus, great pilot, number one. SkyWest beast. But
Shout out.
uh, he's great. So that was Friday night. We hung out, drank all night there. Awesome time. Fell asleep to a classic, one of the best Wober Vortexes while Moops and I were trying to fall asleep on the couch. Nothing better. You can't beat it. After that, Saturday morning, got up around like 8:30ish. Got up, we made some breakfast quickly. All of us got dressed. Went down to Nashville Underground Buckeye Backer Bar. Awesome
Sweet.
time,
Yeah.
incredible time. We had a good time. Every time the Buckeyes scored a touchdown, they did $5 Buckeye shots. So
Hell
it was
yeah.
21-0 fairly fast in the first half. And Dave was like, they got to stop scoring points. So we went there, and then we just kind of bar hopped for till about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Luke Combs' bar, Jason Aldean's bar, Morgan Wallen's bar, another dive bar. Great time. Loved hanging out with them. Sunday, we were watching sports, hung out. All of us were kind of leaving on Sunday. Some left Monday. We had the Airbnb one more night, but freaking awesome weekend. Never been to Nashville. Highly recommend. Awesome vibe. And the weather looked like it was supposed to dump all day Saturday, dump all day Sunday. It really held out for us most of the day Saturday until about nighttime when we were at home.
Uh-huh.
And then Sunday it poured, but we weren't really doing anything. We're just chilling, watching football. So really good weekend. Highly, highly recommend Nashville.
Yeah, it's high on the list for the bachelor party that I'll be planning here for next year. And great to hear the boys were getting after it. I know
Oh yeah.
we talk about being washed a lot, but you get the fellas back together that you haven't seen in a while, and it's funny how easy you fall back into the Wober conversation vortex or falling back into the old ways. So glad to hear the
Yeah.
boys got after it. Is there any horror stories you want to tell now, or are
Yeah.
you saving those
No,
for later?
I mean, I have one for later. It's not really a horror story, but it's good. Some key moments of the weekend. I felt like first of all, Broadway, awesome. Like I
Mhm.
mentioned, I've never been. Very cool. It was. I mean, we didn't obviously go to the game, but Vanderbilt was at home against South Carolina, which was kind of a big game. So people were
Yeah.
there. A lot of football fans there. A lot of football fans there. Didn't matter the school. So that was cool. We definitely, all of us noticed it. Couvert brought it up. This was a high point of the weekend. It felt like everybody liked Ohio State for some reason. Everybody was giving us go Bucks, like, hey,
Wow.
OH, IO. And I feel we were all saying usually it's the opposite. We usually feel like it's like, oh, Ohio
Definitely.
State, like versus like, oh, Ohio State, you guys are sick. Like, how much did you guys win by today? And we were like, yeah, we are sick. We won 45-0 against Purdue. Like we were sick.
Big noon
So
kickoff.
OSU love was a pleasant surprise on Broadway. Couple other highlights of the weekend we said were Mobley first basket. This is to start the weekend, Friday night. Cavs are 10-0 at this point. Or maybe, yeah, 10-0, I think, or 9 or 10-0 at this point.
Uh-huh.
And the Cavs are playing, and we're like, we're going to take first basket. FanDuel, all this. And remember, haven't bet legally. I haven't bet at all, really, in a long time because I'm not in a legal state.
Uh-huh.
So I'm trying to scramble to log myself back into FanDuel. It's making me verify my ID again. It's making me do all this stuff, whatever. And we all were like, there's a thing called, we're going to do it this week also. We're going to pick a game and do it this week when I come to Chicago.
Okay.
Friday first, and they boost Friday night first baskets. So
I
Evan
gotta get
Mobley.
unbanned from FanDuel before Friday now.
Oh no. Well, I think they might have. Someone said they might have done it on DraftKings, but there was no boost, but it was still normal
Okay.
odds.
Okay.
But it's plus 700 to regular. Evan Mobley first basket, and with the boost, it went to plus 1,050, plus 1050.
Hell yeah.
So we're like, let's do it. We all decided it was going to be the Cavs game because we were going to watch the game. $10 to 105, right? So we need Mobley. Game starts. Jared Allen wins the tip. He passed it back to Dono. Dono's driving down the court. Passes to DG. Evan Mobley cuts to the hoop. We're screaming, there he is. He gets past the ball, goes up with it. Fouled. Misses the shot.
Oh no.
And we're like, no way. Like, first basket loses because he couldn't finish it. And Moops, friend of the program as well,
Mhm.
Moops said that he had first point on DraftKings, not first basket.
Oh,
So we were like, oh, like all of us are in shambles that the weekend just started like that. Like we were like, it's gonna be a bad weekend. Like we just all lost on a freaking technical. Brinkman opens up his account. They counted it. They counted it. The free throws counted.
that's huge.
But weekend starts off Evan Mobley first basket.
Do you
That
think
was
did he
awesome.
hit 2? Did he have to hit
He
both
did
for it
hit
to
both.
count?
He did hit both. I don't know if that was why, but he did hit both.
Interesting. Okay.
So it counts. We won. They didn't pull it out of our account. We won. Another fun betting story was Sunday. We were so bored during the Giants versus Carolina. We were sick, sick sheep watching this game. Uh,
Terrible.
we were we were so bored watching. We started betting on people to catch a pass on a certain drive, which if you haven't tried, super fun.
Very fun. Yes.
We had Malik Neighbors one time, and then one drive we had DeAndre Hopkins, and he was like crazy odds later in the day. We hit that one. We hit Leggett once, like very fun. So that was gambling stories. OSU love. Gant will get his shout out later in the night. Wober definitely was his vortex self. Bert
Good.
was sleepy when he got back. Bert always is funny sleepy, but great time. Awesome time. I'm not obviously going to dive too deep into crazy stories on air, but awesome time. My dad asked me when I got back home, he was like, how did it feel like hanging out with everybody again? Like, did it feel like time had passed? And it didn't. It felt like we were just leaving the beta house to go to Tuna the day before.
That's
Like
awesome.
it was just like we picked right up. Nobody missed. That first Friday night, we spent like an hour doing like, hey, how's everything going? How's your girlfriend? How's your family, etc. After that, it was like, let's get into it. And like we had a fun time and awesome time. Love hanging with the boys and running it back in a few weeks. I think a lot of them are going to be at the Michigan game, so going to be another run back there. But definitely a good weekend.
That's awesome. Quite a reunion with more reunions coming up with Chicago this week and then Michigan back in a couple weeks. The biggest reunion that my pledge class had done was St. Patrick's Day in Chicago this year, which was
Okay,
great for me because we did one of the Wrigleyville bar crawls that I've now sworn off. But
you
all
love those.
yeah, all my home friends were there. All like my whole pledge class had come in. I wasn't living in the city yet, so I was kind of still being nomadic and still had to like make my way back out to the suburbs. But you're right. It's great when you have those friends like that it feels like no time has passed. I know
Yeah.
you and I obviously talk very like all the time every day, but we haven't seen each
Speaking
other.
reunions,
Speaking reunion, Chicago this weekend. We've had this circled on the calendar for some time. OSU
a must
plays.
win. It's a must win this weekend for us.
Oh, in a number of different ways here. We got OSU Northwestern at Wrigley Saturday. I don't think that's a big noon kickoff game, but it seems like we have
It's
one
a
of those.
Big Ten. It's Big Ten network, but it is at noon.
Yes, that 11 a.m. Central, 11 a.m.
Yeah,
Central.
11 a.m.
And then Packers versus that team in Chicago that plays football sometimes on Sundays. We're going to that Sunday at noon as well. So
And we got to
I'm
celebrate
pumped.
Maddie's birthday.
Yes.
We're gonna see Moose and all the guys on Friday too.
Got Gambino coming into town, another wrong sider.
Yeah.
Probably, I'll go out on a limb and say our best article writer that we have.
Oh yeah.
Wrong side. He had a article months and months ago about how the Mets still had a chance to win it all, and it looked great all the way
We
until
were like, I don't know if we want to do this, and then
it.
he was like, all right, and then
Mhm.
they almost made it.
It would have been perfect, but Gambino's coming into town. Moose will be here. We got Josh Brown coming in, and a number of other people. So reunions coming up. I don't really have anything planned. I haven't hosted an out of towner in quite some time, and you've obviously been to Chicago before. So what are we looking for? What are the keys to the game this weekend?
Keys to the game this weekend. Definitely think for me, my keys to the game. Blessed to have big game experience. Getting Nashville the weekend before Chicago was huge for Michael Sharber. Really don't drink that much. Don't drink like that anymore. Big game experience was key to the game. They know they've been there before. They've done it. Big key to the game for Michael Sharber. Second key to the game, I think, is making sure that we can communicate well enough. I think a key to the game, find my friends. It was tough at
All
times
right.
in Nashville. We didn't have, I mean, not for me. I don't know if you have any friends, but I have a friend also coming with us, making sure everybody's got each other's location so we're not losing people. Key to the game, find my friends. Third key to the game, I think, focus on Saturdays. Sunday is just for vibes. I think Sunday is a vibe day. Key to the game is Saturday is the weekend, not Sunday. We got Wrigleyville in the morning. We got the game at 11. I have an engagement party on Saturday night where I'm going to bounce away for a second, come right back. Then we got Maddie's birthday, celebrating all day and night. So
Uh-huh.
keys to the game, Saturday, not Sunday. Big game experience. Find my friends. That's the big keys to the weekend.
Big time. From my perspective as the home game here, step
Yeah.
1, stock up on supplies. Tums recently had been purchased. Toilet
Yes.
toilet
Yes.
paper is a must before Friday rolls around.
I was Tom's MVP this weekend. I came strapped. Nobody else was ready.
Big time. That's big time. Number 2 here, find my friends is huge. Got to be able to kind of be a facilitator. I think that's going to be my
Yeah.
role. We got a lot of
Play
people
your
in a
role.
lot of different areas in the city, a lot of people we got to see, but we just need to play our game, stick to what we know, see who we see,
Mm-hmm.
and really let the game come to us, I think is the
Agreed.
big thing. And step number 3, kill Matt Eberflus before Sunday. That is
Yes.
my key to
Yes.
the game. Maybe a long shot there, but hopefully the Buckeyes win by about 600 points, and I can just ride off of that into Sunday. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. I know we got other college football to talk about before we have to slog through another NFL segment here.
Yeah.
But Chicago will be sick. This will be the first time Michael and I have laid eyes on each other in real life since graduation.
Pause.
Um, little
Yeah. Since
little
graduation. Literally since graduation.
yeah. It's gonna be cool. Michael and I really, you're probably the one I've stayed in touch most with since I've left college, besides the guys who like live around here, obviously. So I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be a good time, a wholesome weekend with a lot of people that I haven't seen in some time. So that'll be sick.
Yeah. I'm excited. First time back in Chicago, I think, till since senior year when we went to formal, which was awesome. And we went
Yeah.
to a bunch of bars. So that was fun. And a bunch of us will be there again. And I know Moose is excited. And it seems like, to be honest with you, I'm stoked. Moose took the initiative, not because of Moose. I'm just saying, like, we had plans a couple weeks ago. Moose kind of started laying the groundwork. That's huge. I definitely could see, and even this weekend in Nashville, you can see the change in college to real life. You're like, let's do this. Here's where we're going to go. Even this weekend, we were very more efficient with planning, thinking ahead, not trying to be idiots. But it was good to see. It was like, another thing I will mention about the weekend before we get into college football that reminded me of old versus current was, when you see someone like older and they just shoot a shot and they're a veteran and they played that sport,
Uh-huh.
it just looks pretty coming out of their hand. That was what it was like every morning when we were cleaning up that Airbnb. It was like, oh, I've been here with these guys before. Like those guys know what they're doing. It was like seeing like Shaq walk by and just like lay up a layup when he was walking by on the Staples Center court. That's what it looked like. All of us were like, been there before. Yeah, we've thrown this bag in the trash. We know how to clean this up. We wipe this down. Easy. So the boys were boys. Good weekend, but on to college football.
Yes.
We briefly mentioned it. Not going to really dive in too much. I think they're 28-point favorites. Ohio State, Northwestern. Going to be awesome. Cool. Good thing and bad thing for this game, I think. Good thing, or not good thing. I think it's funny, not really good. Funny thing for the game, the locker rooms are too small for the teams because they're baseball locker rooms. So
Yeah.
they're going to do halftime in the bullpens in each bullpen. So that's cool.
Uh-huh.
Bad thing, make sure in the red zone, just in the red zone, I want us to be Will Howard sneaks or like a Travion Q run, no passes to the back of the end zone. It looks like both end zones are very, very tight to the right field fence and the third baseline by the dugout. I don't want anything happening this game. That field better be good, first of all. That's what my nervous thing about.
Yeah, I know when Iowa played here a couple years ago, they're obviously like less of a high flying offense than the Buckeyes are. So it was okay for them, but the field conditions, I think overall were pretty good. But by the end of the game, it definitely got chopped up a little bit. So for those of
Yeah.
you that haven't seen the pictures, we might get, I forgot the name of the Italian freaks in the World Series who ripped Mookie's glove off his hands.
Yeah,
but
definitely. Right there.
we might get another there might be someone may record an interception from the stands this week.
That would be cool if they threw it in. Yeah, no, it'll be cool. I saw a meme today of Julian saying entering the game in the second half was Edwin Diaz coming out from the bullpen. So that was kind of funny.
Nice.
But yeah, should be a good game. Let's get the guys in there just like this week, I think. Get the starters out early. Let the young guys in. I know Ryan Day doubled down on it, tripled down on it, quadrupled down on it today in his weekly Tuesday press conference. I still think it's dumb. This is potentially the last game that Julian Sand could get real-time game reps. I would love to see him play the entire second half. He's going to be starting for us next Saturday or next year against Texas when the season starts. I would love to see him get a full half. He got one drive at the end of the game. pretty stupid in my opinion. I think you're setting him up for potentially failure, not giving him that experience right now. He's not going to play against Indiana. He's not going to play against Michigan. Might as well get him that last game. Luckily, this is going to be his fourth game. Won't break the red shirt threshold. So go out there, play your game, get the starters out, and maybe Ohio State start ramping up the Will Howard, Will Heisman campaign. If Dylan Gabriel is getting these kind of talks, let's maybe get a little for Will Howard. I know Heisman's don't matter. I'm more focused on the later goal, but would like to see our team do that.
Respect our boy. Respect our boy.
Yeah, Will the thrill.
I'm shocked that they're 10-point less favorites than they were against Purdue. Like, I know Northwestern and Purdue are kind of bottom of the barrel, but I wonder how those teams would stack up against each other. Obviously, we're hoping for a stress-free Sunday. Everyone stay healthy, get the starters out early.
Right.
A lot of more important games. I'll go as far to say more important games. Really not too worried about Northwestern. But as Michael said in our intro here, the conference championship slate is starting to become a little bit more clear, and chaos is commencing. Specifically in the SEC here, we have the doomsday scenario for SEC fans, where there's potential for 6 or maybe even 7 teams, if Mizzou goes undefeated for the rest of the year, to end up at 10-2. In that situation, I believe it would be, would it be Bama, Texas, or Georgia, Texas?
Bama, Texas.
Bama A&M is what it is.
Yeah, yes.
As it stands today. But 6 or 7 teams could end up at 10-2. First question I have is, why is Texas still ranked number 3? They haven't beat anyone. They've lost to Georgia, who is down to 11 as of today, this evening's playoff rankings. So I'm not, SEC bias is still strong. Texas obviously still a really good team, but it's going to be interesting to see who gets left out of the college football playoff, if anyone at all, from those teams that may end up in the tiebreaker in the SEC. What do you think on that?
Yeah, I mean, I am a little concerned for the Big Ten, I would say. When you look at the bracket right now, I would say that there's 4 deserving teams in the Big Ten. There's Ohio State, there's Oregon, there's Penn State, there's Indiana. There's 4. You're going to put a group of 5 champion, so that's Boise State or Army, depending on how both teams finish. So there's 5. You're probably going to have Notre Dame. That's 6.
Boo. Why is Notre Dame in there? I don't understand why Notre Dame is in there.
We'll get to that next, but I think then you'll have Miami or SMU or Clemson. You're going to get 1 ACC team. Then you're going to get 1 Big 12 team, in my opinion. So there's 8. So there's 4 spots for realistically. Or no, I'm sorry. That was then there's the SEC champ. I didn't even count the SEC champ.
Yeah.
So there's 1. So there's 3 spots arguably for all those teams. I don't know. I unfortunately am worried that Indiana, I said it before we started recording, I think Indiana has a chance to get Florida State if we do crush them. If we come out and I hope we crush them next week, but if we come out and crush them, then I'm very worried for Indiana. That's a big loss for the Big Ten. It's not fair that the SEC gets that, and they're going to have 3 teams in there, maybe one with 3 losses, I'm hearing. So when you look at Texas, I don't know. I think the problem with Texas is they messed up from the start.
Yeah.
Putting Texas at 3 or 4, wherever they were in that first official college football ranking, really, really hurt them. I think now they can really not drop that much unless they were to lose again. I say that because
they do play A&M to end the year. I think that's the only big game left on their schedule.
Well, and if they win, they'll play in the SEC game, so we'll see. But I think they've kind of put themselves a hole. Their biggest win of the year is Michigan, who now has 5 losses, I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. So kind of a disaster there. I think that's why they kind of got in. Don't get me wrong, it was a big win at the time, but they kind of got stuck. The AP poll I've never really followed. You just look at it till the college football one is open.
Yeah.
But that first college football one, they announced it and they kept them in the top 5, which kind of, now they're stuck there. Now they're going to have the best chance to make it with another loss. So I don't know. I would think that if they lost to A&M and didn't even make the SEC game, then they probably are going to be down low. Georgia today, I'm pretty sure I saw them at 12 or 13. So they had a massive drop losing this week. And it's going to be interesting. The SEC is very difficult. This is the game. This is probably one of the biggest games of the season this weekend. Tennessee's got an incredible defense.
Yes.
Georgia loses this week, their season's over.
Yeah, and honestly, the thing is, I was a sheep. I took all the puppets over the weekend. I took Georgia against.
So did I.
I took Georgia. I took Alabama. I took BYU. I took Indiana spread against Michigan. So I was a sheep and I got screwed. But Georgia is 10-point favorites currently home against Tennessee. Tennessee has a great defense with an offense that's been ready to pop all year. Iamaleava, I hope I'm saying that right, hasn't really been the high flying offense that we've seen. I know he's been a little banged up throughout the year as well. So the Georgia defense is still great, but Carson Beck is just feeble at this point. Like, I don't know what has
Bad.
happened to see a
Bad.
team and like one specific player fall off so hard from one year to the next with not a lot of changes in the team overall is really shocking to me. It's makes me happy to see Georgia kind of falter like this. But I'd
I
love to
enjoy
see
it. I
Tennessee
enjoy it,
win
but
it.
he's
I
bad.
enjoy it. Yeah, he's bad. I think in the last like handful of games, he has like 9 interceptions to 5 touchdowns. They cannot move the ball. I think 2 weeks in a row, they've only scored on short fields where they've had good field position from turnovers from their defense. But they're walking in as favorites. They walked in as only 3-point favorites last week. And I wouldn't be shocked if they lose again. So it'll be curious there. That will really start the chaos there if Georgia ends up losing again, with Tennessee really skyrocketing to high up in the SEC.
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, Alabama shouldn't lose another game. They should be kind of winning out and
They got
preserve the
Mercer
fact
this
that
week. You never know.
yeah, it's a big one this week. Yeah, Mercer. And I saw someone say they're like OSU's fans shouldn't be complaining that Alabama plays Mercer when they played Purdue. Purdue is in the conference. We're
Yeah, what the
playing a conference team. We're
That's
playing at the
ridiculous.
end of the season. We'll have played 1, 2, and 4, or 1, 4, and 5.
Yeah. Yep.
Everyone's saying our schedule's easy. We're gonna play 1, 4, and 5. So relax.
Where's the SEC now?
Then
Where is the SEC
yeah,
now?
right. So the Texas A&M game, the Tennessee Georgia game, those are probably the two biggest games I would say left. I don't think Ole Miss has already played the rivalry game. Oh no, they haven't played Mississippi State, but that's their biggest game left. So the SEC is going to be madness. I think, like you said, Tennessee Georgia, Texas A&M versus Texas, which I think that game is going to be the most expensive college football ticket of all time. They're saying it's
Wow.
on pace to pass any national championship. It's on pace to pass anything. So very interesting to see. But the SEC is going to be a mess. There are way too many teams. They obviously are the closest with ESPN. They will get the benefit of the doubt. If it comes down to a 1-loss Indiana or a 2-loss SEC team,
Yeah.
they might choose a 2-loss SEC team, which is unfortunately true. We'll see. If Indiana gets the worst thing that could happen. I mean, I would love this happen for us, but the worst thing that happened to Indiana is a massacre against Ohio State. That virtually puts Penn State way above them because it was a close game against Penn State. That would be the worst thing for Indiana, but I think the SEC is still in the driver's seat for the most spots.
Yeah.
I think the Big 12, looking at other conferences, the Big 12 is kind of a mess. 2 teams. I think they're only going to get one, though. I think right now we're on pace for BYU versus Colorado, and a great reversal for Colorado. Prime turned it around, recruited well, used the portal well, got his guys in there. Really was good. I still think Indiana is a better story than Colorado. I disagree with RG3 saying Colorado is the story of the year. I still think it's Indiana.
Fair. Yeah.
Indiana was picked 17th to finish in the Big Ten poll, and they're 10-0 for the first time in school history. So
Yeah.
I find it hard to say that it's not them. And so there's a couple games left, but the Big 12, I think they're going to get one team. It's going to be BYU or it's going to be
I hate that.
Colorado.
I think I understand why the SEC is going to get the majority of teams between. It's been the SEC and the
Well,
Big Ten for a handful of years now, but BYU hasn't really. They've been ranked weird. Them and Indiana have both been ranked really weird. They compared Indiana stats to Michigan's last year. Michigan obviously started the year much higher than Indiana. So though they were beating up on bad teams, much like Indiana has done throughout this year so far,
they've
Michigan
taken care of business.
Yeah, they've taken care of business, won pretty much every single game except for this last week by 14 points or more. And Michigan, with very similar stats all the way down to yards per game, point differential, all that good stuff. Michigan started out higher. They obviously stayed higher. So Indiana's fighting uphill. BYU, on the other hand, they've beaten some other good teams that may have fallen down the rankings now because the Big 12 kind of beats up on each other a little bit. But to have BYU at 9, there's a ton to lose for the Big 12. Whether or not you're really not going to get 2 teams in there, with Colorado still currently sitting at 20 with not really any big ranked
I think
wins
they
to
got
speak
pushed
of
up to
there.
17 after today.
17 today? Okay.
But it doesn't matter because if Colorado loses another game, whether it's regular season or the Big 12 game, that's 3 losses. They're done. Like that, they're
Yeah.
out. So, I mean, I don't see them putting in Iowa State, who has a really bad loss. I don't understand. You're absolutely right. When I was going over the people that were involved in terms, it's disgusting that Notre Dame is still in. I understand they're kicking the crap out of people now, but they lost to A&M. That was their biggest game of the year. Or no, I'm sorry. They beat
They
A&M.
beat A&M. I think that's
which
the only
definitely
reason
helps.
they're
Which definitely
profiting
helps
now.
them. That's
But
probably the reason they're doing well. But losing to NIU, you should be out for the season. Or at least having to work your way in. They've been at 5 or 6 or 7 that whole time. They should have been at 15, 16, 17 and have to work their way back in and keep showing that. Join a conference. Don't be frauds. And looking at the ACC is kind of a mess.
They
We talked
suck.
about it before we recorded that the bracket that ESPN keeps putting out is like still looks weird. Like Miami's not leading the conference, but they're the highest ranked team. That's kind of a mess. Miami right now is the highest ranked team. They might not even make the ACC game.
How would that
Do you
work?
know that?
Well, does West Virginia have some there's other
So
tiebreakers
no,
where they're not there right
it's
now?
uh it's SMU leading the pack, Clemson, and Miami.
Okay. Mm,
So looking at the ACC, let me look at this. Opening it up. So biggest game probably is next weekend, I think, or no, it's this week. Clemson plays Pitt. Pitt is unranked 7-2, playing Clemson 7-2. Okay. But looking at the standings, SMU's 5-0, Clemson's 6-1, Miami's 5-1. It'll come down to potentially Miami. I don't know how they determine that. I don't know what the tiebreakers are for Clemson versus Miami, but Miami might make it in. But one of Clemson or Miami are not making it to the game if SMU wins out. And I don't think really any of them have a crazy tough schedule looking at it.
no.
Miami plays remaining. They have a bye this week and then at home against Wake Forest and on the road against our favorite quarterback. SMU has Boston College at home, Virginia on the road, and Cal at home. Nothing crazy. And Clemson, if you look at them, they're on the road at Pitt, which is a tough game. Oh wait, oh no, that's not enough. And then they end with 2 non-conference games.
Yeah.
They end at home, big game, huge one against the Citadel, and then at home against South Carolina. So 2 games. So this is their last game. So I don't know if they need a Miami loss. I don't know if they have the tiebreaker, but that's the situation we're in there. So to me, the Big 12 and the ACC are getting 1 team.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's in. That's 3. Add 2 more champs. That's 5. Add the group of 5 champ. That's 6. So there's 6 spots for probably about 10 teams.
Yeah.
It'll
A
be
lot of
interesting.
SEC in there.
It'll be interesting.
It'll be
I
criminal
think,
not to see
yeah,
Cam Ward in that situation. I still think he's a very deserving Heisman finalist at
yeah,
this point in the season. He still had over 300 yards. I don't think he turned the ball over to end the game, obviously, but that
fumbled
was
there once or twice. I think, yeah.
a guy coming behind him that he didn't really see. But if he was able to complete that game winning drive, I mean, he had the ball in his hands to end the game, which has been the perfect recipe for success for them all year. I would have bet
But
big
they've
money that he
sneaked.
would have
But
done
they've
it.
sneaked. But they've sneaked by teams
How
too.
many
That
times
Virginia
are you
Tech
going to call it a
game, like,
coincidence? How many times can you
yeah,
call it a
right.
coincidence before
No,
you
no,
call
that's
it
what I'm
skill?
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of that same thing as like BYU, like kind of sneaking by teams here and there.
Yeah.
So it's
It was going to happen eventually.
I don't
Everyone
think
kind
it's
of knew.
I think it's coincident. I mean, like you're saying, like how many times can you call it a coincidence? I think if you're sneaking by Penn State or Alabama and you're sneaking by one, it's a close game, that's different. They're sneaking by Cal. They're sneaking by Virginia Tech. They're sneaking by Georgia Tech. Those aren't coincidence. That's bad. That's bad coaching. And Mario Cristobal is awful in those moments. That's 2 straight
Yes.
years losing to Georgia Tech. 2 to Georgia Tech.
That's ugly.
So, I mean, it's a bad luck. I think the committee is going to have a very tough time, especially after the next month. There's a lot of Ohio State's going to have another top 5 matchup, and just like Michael Sharber's key to the weekend in Chicago, it's going to be a key to the weekend for Ohio State if they can get back to Indianapolis. Big game experience. Luckily, we will have more games outside of that Oregon game. I think, in my personal opinion, I think there's probably only 1 or 2 more games in all of Will Howard's career up until this year that were bigger than the games he's played. Probably the Big
Yeah.
12 championship that he won, along with the game he lost to Texas by 3, I think, last year. It was a pretty good game.
Mm-hmm.
So Will Howard getting those moments was big. Let's get, having a big moment in Penn State is huge. He's from there. That gives you more confidence mentally. Having a chance against another top 5 team against Indiana, that's more chance. Getting the chance to play Michigan, potentially being the guy to break the 3-year curse, that's more confidence. That will get your guys behind you. I think the fans are behind the Buckeyes, but I think the SEC and everywhere else around the nation, it's going to be a mess. At this point, I know it's obviously we're not in the weekend before where we're going to find out where we're going to be. But at this point, I don't care. Put us at 1, put us at 2, put us at 7, put us at 8. I still believe in this team.
Yep.
I think we have a good enough team to do it. But definitely something to monitor. The Big Ten is great. I hope the Big Ten can fight for the fight for 4 teams. And I mean, I actually I take that back. I hope we're not fighting for 4 teams because I hope we blow the fuck out of Indiana next weekend. So I hope we kill them so bad that they're out. But if it is a close game and we win, I hope the Big Ten fights for 4 teams because 4 teams deserve it if the SEC gets it every fucking year. So that's where I see it.
Yeah, for sure. I want to beat the brakes off Indiana. I've been an Indiana hater for a long time, even before they were good. I don't like the vibe of the school. I've never been shy about
I
saying
got into
that.
Kelly. Who cares?
Who cares? So did I. Fuck them. They're a great story. You can't deny it. Kurt Signetti has the boys rolling, but I want to beat the absolute brakes off them. Huge for Ryan Day truthers because the more I think about it, I know there's been a lot of transfers from JMU that they got, and the team has obviously improved. But there's just no way they've been able to close the talent gap with the likes of Ohio State in 1 year. So I'm betting on the fact that we are going to beat the absolute brakes off of them, and we're going to see what was the song? The Tom Brady video. Moose is going to make the Tom Brady video.
We ain't going
Bad
nowhere.
Boys. Bad Boys for life. I want to beat the fucking brakes off of them.
Yeah.
Huge for Ryan Day truthers because I don't think they're that fucking good, and it will go down as a top 5 win for Ryan Day. We're gonna beat the brakes off them.
Let's hope.
Let's hope.
I think we have a chance if we come out. I think this was a very indicative game against Michigan. I think that gave Ryan Day a lot of film. I think that gave Jim Knowles a lot of film. I think there are players on the Michigan defense. I'm not afraid to say it, that are better than some players that we have on the Ohio State defense. I think that's an honest opinion. So I think it was good. That's more film for us. It's tough to watch film when they're blowing out Purdue like we just played or Northwestern and stuff like that. So that's good film for us. Let's mix them up. Let's keep doing looks. I think we're kind of going to roll. I was reading today that we're going to roll with the jack position a little more, the jack linebacker.
Thank you.
I think they're rolling with that. They were saying that the reason they did it this week was because Tyleek didn't play, and obviously he's a big run stopper, but Tyleek is healthy this week. But Jim Knowles and Ryan Day both said, we're going to keep rolling. We're going to experiment it. We're lucky. Same thing I said 2 weeks ago about the O-line. They said we're lucky that we have another game to get right before Indiana. Not to say that Northwestern is just a chump, but more so just get our guys in line.
But
and
they
do
are.
that, right?
Yeah.
But just do it that way. So that was big. Cody Simon is so good. I love watching him play. I love watching Hancock. I love watching Ransom. Team looked good against Purdue. Let's keep going. Let's get going. Let's take care of Northwestern and get ready to go.
Let's do it. Are you ready for the worst ever?
Yeah. This is bad, guys. It's
bad.
Definitely one of our shorter sessions in the while. I think you guys got I'll say it first. We got a real treat last week with you. We got a real treat. I was thinking about it all weekend, and I started comparing the comp of Joey. This might be a good meme. We have to have our meme department do this. Maybe put your face on Brian Kelly after they lost a couple weeks ago. He's like, they did it again. They did it again. That's what I thought of you when you were doing your rant last week. So that was funny. But Cowboys will do quickly. I have really nothing to say.
Okay.
The Sun, you're an idiot, Jerry. The Sun
you're
is
an
bad.
idiot, Jerry.
They're so dumb. Everybody hates each other. CD said close the windows. Micah's calling out Coach, which definitely taken out of context. I'm just saying how the media has portrayed it. Micah was right. Micah was right in what he said. He's right. That he doesn't hate Mike. That's not how it should have come across. It came across as if Zach Martin might retire next year. His career might be over. He never got to win the big one. That's what he was talking about, who he was sad for. Other than that, Dak's going to have season-ending surgery. Cooper Rush is so bad. It really actually shows me that defense was that much better 2 years ago.
Yeah. Because I was singing Cooper Rush's praises from the high heavens.
And I told everybody, I was like, it's a good team. He's winning. He was doing nothing in those games. It was like 200 yards barely.
Well, but he was doing better.
I think he had 2 fumbles. He had Pollard.
I think he had 2 fumbles this week. Like
just on the snap.
He was so much better a couple of years ago. Like, yeah, I know he was not the guy moving forward, but it's tough. It's tough down there right now.
I actually think the first half wasn't bad at all. 14-6, and they got basically all their points off just like us giving the ball over 30 times. But Tankathon is open. Hopefully we get in the top 5. Maybe we can flip the pick to somebody who needs a QB, trade back, get some weapons. It's a weapon draft. I think, everybody is upset. I'm upset. I saw a guy in the Denver airport We both ranted about it. He's like, "Oh, I'm texting my buddies. I'm so mad." I told him I was texted out. I can't do it anymore. It definitely is nice. I mean, it's gonna get bad. It's gonna get ugly these next few weeks because we got some more big games. The games don't stop. But
Yeah.
what I'm hoping for, my goal for the season now at this point, I have a couple. I pray that the Giants can win a few more games than us so we can get the fourth place schedule. I pray that we can get inside the top five. It'll be tough, but I hope we can. And I am happy they're going to have a season like this because Jerry Jones deserves it. It's very easy to say, yeah, it sucks to lose in the playoffs when you go 12-5 and you think you're hot shit because you have good players and everything else. You got your DC walk, your quarterback got hurt, you've been outbid on every different contract negotiation. He deserves this. I want him to suffer. Everybody put up 40, put up 50. Let's get ugly. Let's get ugly. Make it look ugly. I want him to suffer now. Now I want Jerry to suffer to be like, you know what? I want him to say he was wrong at the end. And he took a subtle shot at Dak this week too, saying,
Did he?
well, we were only 3-5. We weren't even that good. And I was like, are you kidding me? You just watched that game. That's your takeaway. That's how bad your team is. Dak won 3 games. That's how good Dak is. That's your takeaway. So a mess. Jerry deserves it. I hope they fail. They'll mess up the pick anyway, so it doesn't matter. Hopefully, Will McClay can get his hands on the team because that's what matters. Will McClay's the guy, not Steven or Jerry. Close the fucking windows. The sun is a problem. It's been a problem. Get it fucking handled, please. And yeah, Cowboys season's over. We'll see who's in Dallas next year. We'll see who's been traded. I think it's going to be a long year for Cowboy fans. Long year. So let's hope the Buckeyes can prevail. But that's all I really have on the Cowboys. It's very short. Not much will change from me on my opinion on them for the rest of the year, unless we go some crazy run. We already got 6 losses, so basically you have to win out to go
Yeah.
11-6. It's not going to happen. Dak's having season-ending surgery, so my Cowboy talk will limit it down. I'll start shouting out to certain things here and there. Maybe my segment will be more talking about other games than the Cowboys, but
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because when we started this podcast, we're like, wow, like 2 huge market teams. The Bears are primed
right.
for a great year. The Cowboys obviously are great in the media, and this has been way less fun than I had expected when
That's
football
no fun
season
at all,
started.
actually.
No fun at all. So we're gonna really dive into the rest of the league and possibly prospects and draft picks here coming up, because the Bears are, I guess, angled for the number 1 overall pick yet again if they can
Number
sneak under
2,
the Cowboys.
behind the
Maybe number
Cowboys.
2. Pardon my take, had the first 3 picks of the draft this year. Maybe wrong side is next up. Um, I I will truly say, right, I'm not gonna freak out because I'm too sad.
Yeah.
This is the worst that it has ever been in my life. There have been some bad coaches. They've done it again and again. You guys heard me last week. Hire the
They
lame
did it
duck
again.
coach. They did it again. They did it again. They did it again. You started the year as it's Groundhog Day in Dallas. It is for sure fucking Groundhog Day in Chicago. Um, I think now the fandom is real. Like we've known this for a while. Chicago ownership isn't good, but it's really now an indictment on the ownership. Previously, you're like, oh, the pick was wrong. Like Mitch clearly wasn't the pick. It was Mahomes or Deshaun Watson or maybe now it was Jaden Daniels. But I really don't think any criticism that came out this week about Caleb Williams and whether or not we're starting Caleb Williams is bullshit, because Caleb Williams is obviously, like I said it last week, he's playing against his own coaching staff as much as he is playing against the opposing defense. So the only reason there would be to sit him is to preserve any sort of confidence that the kid has left and just mortgage the season for next year. You've seen the product on the field. The players have quit on Eberflus. I think it was Byard this week got asked by a reporter, does this team still believe in the coaching staff? And he said, I'm not even going to go there. We have veterans calling for Bagent to start over Caleb Williams. DJ Moore is a fucking diva. I would bet a lot of money he was leading that charge for no reason. I don't know what you had expected when Fields was out of there. DJ Moore was a Fields fan, but it's a business. You could have seen this coming a mile away. Organizational ineptitude. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Truthfully here, we've had these tickets for the Packers game for quite some time now, but after this, I'm pretty much done with the Bears as well. We get to this point every year. Everyone makes fun of me every year where I start rooting for the Eagles or another exciting team, a team that's fun to watch. My dad's from Michigan. He's a Lions fan. They're putting up 50 points in one of the most fun teams in football. Really, I don't see a way that this gets better. It's so public and so clear this time. there's no way Ben Johnson's going to want to come here. We need a complete overhaul. And Kevin Warren's a piece of shit. The McCaskies are pieces of shit. There's just no way. There's too many egos, non-football brains. They're not going to bring in a guy like Dan Campbell who's going to reset the culture and really get these guys going. I think we have a talented roster. I think we have decent leadership in there. But again, you can't play against your own coaching staff and the opposing team. So truly, after this, I purchased a sell the team shirt today. Impulse buy, but I'm very happy about it. There's nothing to do except boycott the team at this point. It's down to Reinsdorf levels of bullshit. I'm tired of hearing about 1985. We've had rosters to do it. It's crazy how we were like, as a fan base, Chicago is not necessarily the most reasonable. I'm the first to admit it. We were yelling for Jay Cutler to get out of town for as long as possible. Everyone's kind of looking for Jay to sling the ball down the field and just be that motherfucker who doesn't care and just wants to sling the rock.
Right.
And everyone is looking fondly on the Matt Nagy years as well. His departure, I think it was time to go for him at that point. It was just getting bad. He was kind of being like snarky, and he was tired of the interviews, and things weren't going well, and it was time to part ways. But rather have him than this fucking idiot. Like I'm not getting mad, but the first episode on Hard Knocks when they spent
3, 4, 5.
I gotta count. The first episode on Hard Knocks where they spent 20 minutes on his hair and
You
his
knew it
hair
from
and
there. You
his
said it
hair
from
and
there.
makeup. The first quote I think he said is winning isn't always about winning, and losing doesn't always mean you're a loser.
Right.
Well, we're playing professional football here, Matthew Eberflus. So it is about winning at the end of the day. It doesn't matter. They don't ask how, they ask how many, and you have not won at all. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's boycott season.
I saw a video today, and it was like the Bears locker room in 2018, like a video, and someone quoted it. It was like, we get to this point every single season we try to reminisce about that team that lost. And you're right, Matt Nagy, and now he's the OC of the Chiefs, and he helps out with Andy Reid and their offense. And their offense, even though players are hurt, it still gets the job done. And they're back-to-back Super Bowl champs. And I think it's one of those situations where I think the Bears in the past, yes, they are a big market, but they could kind of hide in the sense of like, they're not going to be good. They're rebuilding. They just got a first-round quarterback. They're not good at all. We're going to let Justin Fields play. He's a rookie, whatever.
Yep.
But now, not only is it a big market, the defense was good last year, and they said this was going to be their best defense in years. They had DJ Moore trade. They extend DJ Moore.
Great contract, too. Great value for it.
Then they trade for Keenan Allen. Then the Panthers suck, and they get the number 1 pick. Then you get Caleb. Then you take Rome. They got to a point where it was like, all right, like, let's go. Here it is. Like, I know you're a rookie, but let's go. And I think that is also an issue with the Chicago fans, that they were now like, we've given grace, but the grace was earned because they weren't good and we didn't really have much. But now it was like, you just said all offseason, this quarterback was the difference between us being good and making the playoffs and us missing the playoffs. And nothing changed. The line didn't change.
No.
The coaching didn't change. Was it today I saw, obviously Waldron was fired today, but was the number 8 I saw? 8 coaches fired now under Eberflus?
I think it was 8 coaches. The only coach that has been retained, the offensive line and run game coordinator. Which I'm not going to say that's what the fuck? So to say that things are bad is an understatement. We talked about just winners and losers, old blood, new blood happening, and the Bears are the epitome of it. I agree. We gave grace, not just for the Justin Fields era to set up Caleb Williams how it is right now, through the Matt Nagy era with Trubisky to Fields, the John Fox era with I don't even remember. Obviously just the list goes on. Like, you can't even remember at that point. So to get rid of Fields was the right decision between the contract and Caleb's prospect. Like, Caleb had shown a lot, but the fact of the matter of how similar these two offenses have looked, just with the questionable play calling, the conservatism of the quarterback. That's been the story on my Twitter page all week. Like, Caleb Williams, he's a gunslinger. He had some multi-interception games early in the season. He had them in college. His ability to get out of the pocket, throw off platform, and just be creative is getting coached right out of him. The only consistent thing over these two dynamic playmakers between Fields and Caleb Williams is Matt Eberflus. And the fact that the McCaskies and the Bears organization care more about this tradition of not firing head coaches in season
Mid-season.
than preserving whatever level of care there is in this locker room is very telling. And there's just no reason for, like, I am like telling my family and anyone that'll listen, like, don't buy me any Bear stuff for Christmas. Like, I'm
Yeah, I
actually at the
gotta.
point where boycott is the only thing to do. Like, sell the team Jerry Reinsdorf, sell the team McCaskies. Like, it's it's embarrassing. First charter franchise of the NFL. Papa Bear is rolling in his grave. George Halas. It's over.
My grandma asked me about a month ago what I wanted, and my mom was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna tell her you want this Ohio State, or I'm sorry, this Dallas Cowboys Abercrombie crew neck." I didn't get it this summer when they were selling them because I didn't want to spend the money.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, "This is a good gift. Like your grandma will get it for you. That will be great." And I sent a GIF because I knew she was getting it for me. So I sent a GIF to my mom Sunday when I was coming home from Nashville, and it was like someone like throwing something out the window, and it was like, "Thank you for my gift. I love it." And it was like, so I feel that. I told my mom after that, I was like, "No more gear. I want no more cowboy stuff. Please stop buying me stuff." Like, um, I think one negative, we said it last week, I think as well, the difference with firing a coach mid-year, I think between the Cowboys and the Bears is if the Cowboys were to fire Mike McCarthy mid-year, they would most likely make Mike Zimmer the head coach. He shouldn't deserve it, but that's probably what they would do. And the good thing in that scenario is that Mike Zimmer has had coaching experience. He's been in that spot before. And you said it last week. Who do you hire? Who do you put in the role if it's not Eberflus and it's obviously not Waldron now? Who are you going to put there? And you said, who are you going to put? So it's a situation like that. I hope that this game is at least close this weekend and we can enjoy it. But this is this game could not be coming at a worse time. This is I kind of wish it was Bears, like, even if it was the Bears Patriots game and they lost to the Patriots.
Yeah.
I still
It
think
would
a
have been
Bear.
better.
I think Bears Patriots or Bears Cardinals or Bear. I would even go as far as saying Bears Panthers would be better than the game that's coming up. And the game, obviously, when I say coming up, I'm not bashing on it because the game is going to be awesome. Like, it's Bears Packers. It's arguably the greatest rivalry in all of NFL, but it could not be coming at a more worse time with a depleted Bears team, a bad O line, a Packers team that does fire at times. Jordan Love already,
Loves beating the Bears. The Packers love beating the
so
Bears.
we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I hope it's close. I'll be the first one to go on record and say if they do win, you're going to be going insane on Monday. So I'll just go on record and say that
I
the
don't
season's
know.
back on.
I don't think the season
Um,
will be back on. There's right
but
side.
it's definitely, I would say if a win here, a win gives you some confidence back.
We
You're
had
right.
the
You're right. The division is bad. It's gonna. You haven't played anything yet.
we had, this is
It's
our
gonna get
first
bad.
divisional game coming in week 11 here. Right side, wrong side for what's coming up. Right side, the fans are in such a state right now that I think the crowd will be electric. We're gonna punt on the first drive of the game
I
because
agree.
we have not scored in the first quarter all
Oh,
year,
that
and
stat is bad.
the Boo
That
Birds are
Tory
gonna be
Taylor
out like
text.
crazy.
That
Oh, the
Tory
Tory
Taylor
Taylor
text is
text,
not good.
very bad. Wrong side.
Let's
I
see. I
almost threw
bookmarked
up.
some stuff.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wrong. You mentioned that Bears Packers is allegedly the greatest rivalry in football, one of the oldest, should be one of the best. However, Gambino, who will be in the game as well, he is a Packers fan from Philadelphia, so I don't respect him as a Packers fan. I have other people in my life who are Packer fans. I mean, they're from the area. It's a cop out to root for the Packers if you're from Illinois, but it happens. For the most part, those people keep their mouths shut. Gambino, I lived with him junior year of college. And for the longest time, he just kept saying, I want, as a Packer fan, I want the Bears to be good. And like, I see that on Twitter as well, because it isn't a rivalry, because the Packers do own us. And Aaron Rodgers was right, because we're horrible. And maybe the season will be back on. And obviously, Flus is coaching for his job. We lost the longest active home winning streak in the NFL last week against the Patriots, which is hilarious that was even in play. But really, until Eberflus is gone, there's no hope here for a number of reasons. And we'll probably fuck up the next hire as well, because who wants to come into this situation? So the boycott is on after this week against the Packers. They are here and will be known henceforth as that team in Chicago that plays football sometimes. I don't want to pay another second to them. They're a deplorable franchise and embarrassing to the sport.
Love it. My last thing I'll say, it's just a question before we go to our ad read. Uh, does Soldier Field have fans that stand outside the stadium sell like gear? Does Soldier Field do that?
Yeah, there's some, not a ton, but there's some.
Okay, I'm just curious because I've obviously never been there, but like they have them at SoFi. Obviously, Angel Stadium has them. They're selling Angels gear, stuff like that. If they're playing someone big, they'll sell the other team. But I was gonna say if there are some that do sell, I would be shocked if there weren't a lot of sell the team shirts being sold this week.
I was thinking about it because it would be hilarious to just be. I would passionately be out there yell. Like if I had some T-shirts to sell, I'd be
Yeah.
out there yelling. But I wonder, like as far as permits and all that stuff goes, if like would
Well,
someone
those
put a
don't
stop
exist.
to
People
that?
just do that. No,
Okay,
nobody
I didn't
would
know if
because
someone
it's
would
like,
try and put a
I
stop
mean,
to
they
that.
might, but those people are not real followers anyways.
Fair
So,
enough.
are you guys a hot dog stadium? Like outside the game? Do they do that?
Not outside the game. A lot of people selling shots. A lot of people selling shot. You got to
Oh,
go through the museum campus, so it's like a pretty long walk. Like there's not just like there's a parking lot on the south side of the stadium, but the north end is all like there's like the Shed Aquarium down a little ways, and the Field Museum's right outside there. So it's a pretty lengthy walk, and it's all people with coolers, beer, shot, all that good stuff. So
all
shows you
right.
where the
I'm
priorities
excited.
are at. Hmm.
I'm excited. Yeah. Well, I hope it's close. I hope we can enjoy it a little. Moose and I are definitely in for a treat with you and Bino. You guys will definitely be on like seat 1 and 4, and we're going to be in the middle. So I'm pretty excited. The weather doesn't look too bad, luckily, which is
Good.
good. So it just might be a little cold, but definitely should be a game. But before outside the line, and we're wrapping up NFL now, we're going to kick it to our ad read quickly and clutch moment of the week.
Clutch moment of the week is brought to you by Shore Metals, big enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Serving Southern California since 1970. See Stan, he'll help you out. Michael, who is your clutch moment of the week?
Clutch moment of the week goes out to Connor Gant this weekend in Nashville. High and low, he turned it into a clutch moment of the week. Let me say
All
that
right.
before I tell the story. It definitely did not start as a clutch moment of the week. Almost started as the probably tone deaf person of the week, and then the weekend ended with him being clutch moment. Friday night, we're all hanging out, we're drinking, we're getting after it, and Gant is out hanging out. We're all having a good time, and Gant's been drinking since he got there. We're taking shots of Fireball and Rumpel and everything. We're eating barbecue, so our stomachs are full. We've been drinking beer all day. That's about 8:30, 9 o'clock, not that late. And Gant's like, oh, I don't feel well. Like, I'm going to go throw up. Not a big deal. Not a big
Happens.
deal. So he goes to puke, and we're all like sitting in the area, like living room, talking and drinking still, hanging out. He's like, hey, Mike, problem. And I was like, what's wrong? He's like, you got to come in here. And I go into the bathroom, and the toilet seat broke off, completely snapped. And I'm
Now,
like,
this isn't just a nut, like a bolt that
no,
was
no, no,
loose and
no.
unscrewed.
So that's what I thought.
Uh-huh.
No, like when you open the toilet, there's a thing that connects. The entire thing snapped off. Like the piece of, it's not porcelain, like that's plastic, that part, but
Uh-huh.
that part like snaps. Like
Tough.
you even if you super glued it, it wouldn't open because the thing broke off and the bolt on that side had snapped.
Mm-hmm. Not great.
So I'm like, great, like this is how we're gonna start our weekend. He's like, yeah, I came in here to throw up, and I went down too fast on my like, it's coming out like fast, and I grabbed on it, snapped off.
Oh,
So I was like, oh my God, like $250. We're going to get charged for this. It's going to be brutal. Luckily, Aiden, I'll give Aiden, one of Dave's pharmacy friends, he'll get partial clutch moment of the week.
okay.
Looked it up. There was a Home Depot 10 minutes from our Airbnb. Gant, Coover, and Amark went down, got the toilet seat, repaired it Sunday morning. Good as new. Haven't got an email yet, so hopefully I don't get one this week. They should be thanking us. We replaced their toilet seat.
Yeah.
So literally looked like it was like nothing had happened. It might have been the same exact one. I told everybody when we were leaving, since I left on Sunday, people were leaving Monday, make sure to throw the toilet away somewhere else. Do not throw it in the trash can here.
Yep.
Throw the evidence away. But Gant fixed it. Gant gets the clutch moment of the week. Connor Gant, clutch moment, breaking the toilet, but fixing it. Clutch moment.
Big time. When you said the porcelain broke when you were texting me this weekend, I thought like the bowl had, like the actual
The
bowl had broke,
porcelain
and I was like,
piece, the
what the
porcelain
hell
piece
happened?
of the seat. Like the connector was porcelain, but not that was easy to fix. The porcelain did not break. That would have been a disaster.
That would have
But
been
yeah,
brutal.
Connor Gant, clutch moment of the week. How about yourself?
Me, I'm gonna go with a little more of a wholesome vibe today. So I don't get to go home. I don't go home a lot these days. I mean, between friends here and just like living my life in the city, I'm not always home. Haven't seen my grandma as much as maybe I should be or want to at all. But clutch moment of the week goes out to me and Maddie. So for the first time ever in our over 4.5 years of dating, we went out to lunch with both of our grandmothers. Obviously, we have met each other's grandmothers before, but our
Sure.
grandmas have never met. So we had a nice little
Wow.
lunch during the Bears game, which was even more clutch because I didn't have to watch that fucking dumpster fire. Nice little lunch at an Italian place. Great conversation with the grandmas. They were both very emotional and very happy after the fact, and felt good to really do something nice and get some wholesome family fun in there. So clutch moment of the week goes to wholesome family fun.
Wholesome family fun. Connor Gant, toilet breaker. The two spectrums of what clutch moment of the week represents. Now to outside the line. Wrapping it up now with outside the line and starting it off one of the best tone deaf person of the week. Who do you got?
I gotta give it to Kirby Smart. The Bulldogs have been faltering over the last few weeks, but we're not talking about their necessarily play on the field, at least during the game. So after the game, Ole Miss stormed the field
Ole Miss,
against
yep.
them, and in the one of the videos that came out on Twitter and went viral, you see a Georgia player in full pads,
It was
jumping up
crazy.
and down. Jumping up and down with the Ole Miss fans who had just stormed the field after Georgia gets a pretty tough second loss on the season so far. So um, comes out later that that player had actually bumped into a longtime childhood friend that he did not expect to see at that game. Obviously, a field storming, there's a million people running around, so to bump into a childhood friend is pretty cool. You jump up and down. It's a cool situation to be in. Some things are bigger than sports at the end of the day. Kirby Smart said, "What an idiot for doing that. Like, you have to be aware of the moment, yada, yada." Gave a bunch of coach speak to the upset Georgia fans and reporters later this week. Fun fact, other Georgia controversy under Kirby Smart over the last few years. Jalen Carter was a first round pick. I don't know if he got
Murdered.
murdered. I don't know what he actually got convicted of, but the Georgia players are getting DUIs and drag racing charges left and right in Athens. It's looking like Mad Max Fury Road out there. Not a word from Kirby on that one. He's running into
This is the line.
Mississippi
This is where
State players.
This is where he draws the line.
This is where he draws the line, is not caring about a loss. I guess he's a football guy through and through at the end of the day. And if you're a future NFL first round pick, which sadly, based on the guy's skin tone, it doesn't look like he is slated to end up being an NFL first round pick. Kirby Smart has his priorities all out of whack. So he called his player an idiot for seeing one of his childhood friends and not calling out any of his drag racing players. So my tone deaf person of the week goes out to Kirby Smart.
Incredibly tone deaf, ridiculous. You're absolutely right. Like he just has been like, oh yeah, he made a mistake. He's just a young kid, and now it's like, what an idiot. Are you kidding me? Like very tone deaf.
Mm-hmm.
For me, tone deaf. Lucky for you guys, gonna have back to back ones. I would probably assume one this week, and I'm gonna predict I'll have another next week. Airport losers were my tone deaf person. Obviously, was traveling this weekend, so got a good little view of everybody. Everyone can't be elite as me, but the people that are tone deaf are airport losers. I like the airport bar personally. Sometimes you find some woman next to me on my way home. She was from Ohio. She was like, "Oh, she's like, "Oh, Ohio State grad," because I had my Ohio State jacket on. So she's like, "Oh, I live in Columbus now. I'm from Cleveland." Oh, awesome. So we talked about that for 10 minutes, and she was on her way. Person on my right, we talked for a little normal stuff, normal human being interactions. I don't
Mm-hmm.
mind that. I think it's good vibes. Everybody's kind of just trying to get home, getting a beer, eating, etc. Airport losers. The guys that are weird to other people or to women at the airport bar, airport losers. This one guy was a freaking train wreck. He was drinking. He was being a dick to the bartender at the Coors bar in the Denver airport. And he was talking to this girl, chatting this girl up. This one girl was like talking to her. Was like, "Oh, you're so nice." And she was kind of buying into it. So maybe she was a little weird too, but like telling her about her life problems, etc. And this guy, she's leaving after he bought her a drink, being nice, etc. She's like, "Well, it's time for me to catch my flight. I'm going to head out." And she's like, "You were so nice though to me," whatever his name was. "Let me give you a hug." And he responds with, "Don't give me a hug. I've already been thinking about what I could do to you. You're just too good looking, too cute. And me and the woman to my right looked at each other and we were like, did he just say that? Fucking creepy dude, loser, disgusting. Act like a normal human being in public.
That's insane. They got to get one of the dogs on that guy. Not the Georgia Bulldogs, but the airport dogs.
Yeah,
That
right,
that's
right.
terrifying. I would, yeah.
Yeah, he
That
was scary.
security, please.
Very scary. Yeah, security, please. This one at the Coors Light stand. Weird people. Don't be weird. Don't be tone deaf. Don't ask people's life stories. You want to talk about talk sports. There was Sunday Night Football on. Talk sports, talk life. They were getting into politics and life and failures and her looks, his looks. Just it was weird. It was so weird. Tone deaf.
Sounds like they
Airport.
may have been made for each other at the end of the day, but
Yeah,
don't
maybe,
don't be
maybe.
weird. Please stop being
Um,
weird.
so weird. Wrapping up though, right and wrong side before we head out.
Right side, me. I'm not right about a lot of things except for Ohio State football when they're being soft. I'm not right about a lot of things in sports. I said this was the year for the Bears, but one thing I have been right about now that time has passed, Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes 10-2, controlling their own destiny as we're approaching conference championship season and in the driver's seat to win the Big 12 and head to the college football playoff. I want Coach Prime in the college football playoff. I want Shadur in the college football playoff. I want Heisman Travis Hunter in the college football playoff. And so far, it's looking like I may be right about that. So I'm excited about the Buffaloes. It's been quiet since they've stopped being hilariously bad at times. The media has gotten off of
Did
them
you see
now
the
that
ball
they found
boy?
success. No, what happened?
The ball boy from Texas Tech. Did you see that? It was
Uh-uh.
on Twitter today. Basically, they have that pick in the end zone. And
Yeah.
in college football, it's different than the NFL. You own your balls. Those aren't NFL
Uh-huh.
balls. Like
Uh-huh.
Texas Tech springs their ball. So Texas Tech throws a pick. Colorado brought on their sideline, and the Texas Tech ball boy goes up to like, "Hey, can I have that ball?" Like tries to grab it out of whoever had the pick's hands.
Mhm.
Travis, Shador, other people on the staff start attacking this ball boy, and the ball boy's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" He's like, "This is our ball," and everyone was like, "Colorado needs to calm down. Like they know they've played this game before, they've had a pick before. Like give the guy a ball. Like
I love that. It's our ball now.
really
Shouldn't
funny.
have shouldn't have thrown it to
Our
us.
ball.
Shouldn't have thrown it to
That
us if you
that
wanted.
ain't our ball, ain't it? That ain't our ball.
How do you say tree in Spanish?
Our ball.
Our
That ain't our
our
ball. Ain't
ball. Mhm.
it? Okay. And wrong side.
Wrong side. A similar story to your clutch moment of the week. Actually, I find myself when the going gets tough, Joe Dog gets going. So I have ended up fixing a toilet at an Airbnb or maintenance manning an Airbnb a number of different times within my friend group. So over this past weekend, we had a house party in the suburbs. Shout out the parents not being home, partying like true high schoolers again. And we were having a good conversation. Shout out Anna Bergens, best basement in the friend group. Just good conversation in her basement. We all kind of look up after some time, and there's just water pouring from the ceiling in her basement. And we're like,
Oh shit.
what the hell? Our friend Dean had mysteriously disappeared about a half hour before, and I was the last one to see him head into the bathroom. I had some business to attend to. He said,
Mm.
no. He said, no, I need that. And I looked at him and I said, yes, you do. I hadn't seen him since. So we go up there. Dean had clogged the toilet and just kept flushing and flushing and flushing. Dean was real high school drunk that night. Real blacked out, real incoherent, real, I
Wow.
swear I'm not that drunk. Not like a problem, more of a funny idiot, but nevertheless, it wasn't like an actual problem with the pipes. It was just he kept flushing and it
The
overflowed
water
and
was probably just
seeped under the toilet and through the ceiling. So had to get to work, unclog the toilet. Clutch moment of the week, my friend Matt, who we couldn't find the plunger didn't work and we couldn't find a snake for the drain. So he shoved his hand in there. Luckily there wasn't real like remnants in there, but
wow.
that was clutch. Wrong side, Dean clogged the toilet, but we got it all figured out and it all ended up being okay. What do you
Yeah,
got?
that's tough. That's a tougher house party, but very high school-esque. You guys were very high school-esque for that.
It was nice.
I have my wrong side. I have one that was real and one that literally just popped up on my phone. I'll do that one first. First
Okay.
wrong side. Pardon my take. They might be wrong side rivals. This is their title. They have anything to talk about in football, in life, and anything. So they're interviewing Julius Randle tomorrow.
Sweet.
So Minnesota Timberwolves Julius Randle, Monday Night Football, Cowboys in disarray, and the Bears start firing.
That's brutal. That's brutal.
What the hell? College football takes plus guys on chicks. Ridiculous. Ridiculous wrong side. So we're being bullied by coworkers now and part of my take. My real wrong side, though, is it's going to be this week and next week. working the Monday morning after long weekends, back-to-back weekends. So this weekend going to Chicago, last weekend Nashville, Monday morning, very tough to get up and going after them. So that was tough. Nothing worse than the first day back on vacation, even if it's just a 3-day vacation. So that was my wrong side. And my right side, low-hanging fruit, obviously, is Chicago this weekend. That's going to be great. But my real right side, the Penguin finale was phenomenal. Obviously, can't talk about it. You're not done. I know a lot of
Need to
people aren't
watch
done
it.
that haven't watched it. It's still week of. It's still 3 days after. I can't be talking spoilers yet. But Penguin finale, phenomenal. Probably, arguably, I would say I've seen Sopranos, I've seen Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Seinfeld and the sitcom side, Friends, etc. Probably one of the best out of all those great shows I've just listed, probably one of the best episodes I've ever watched on TV.
Wow, I'm very excited. I'm very excited
A
to
lot of
watch
good
it.
spins, a lot of highs and lows. Crazy episode. That's all I'll say.
Can you really compare a good episode of Seinfeld to any
Well,
of
no,
the
I'm
other
saying
shows that
like
you
great
mentioned?
shows. I'm saying like great shows of all time. Like that's probably the greatest sitcom of all time that I've seen. Like Sopranos and Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones are great like dramas, like
Uh-huh.
thriller shows. So I was using a different example of like great TV
Okay.
shows.
All right.
And first of all, yes, you can.
I don't know.
Don't you hate on it like that? But yeah, I'm just saying in TV in general, incredible episode, incredible finale. And limited series. My main takeaway is fuck Matt Reeves for making us wait 2 more years for the movie. That's my main takeaway.
I think it's October 26th,
2026, yeah.
2026.
So fuck
Counting
him for
down the
making us
days.
wait.
Do we at least get Spider-Verse in 2025 or is that also
I think they're both
2026?
26.
Kill me.
They were
Literally kill me.
Spider-Verse was like originally supposed to be this year, but
I
now I
know.
think it got
I
delayed
know.
so much. So
Dylan Raiola will be the starting quarterback of the Chicago Bears.
Dylan
when that
Raiola,
happens.
Dune, and Spider-Verse and that. So that'll
God,
be
I
good.
hate this
But
shit.
maybe Arch Manning on the Cowboys as well. That's our show today. Thank you guys for listening. Big episode coming up. Hopefully some of it's going to be done this weekend. If everybody's in a good mood, Sunday afternoon after the game, let's hope that happens and we can record a little. But thank you guys for listening. Have a great Wrong Side Wednesday. Like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good one.